Welcome to your lecture on digital data analysis. So, this lecture is a part of your paper on communication research, and we are going to discuss the analysis of data which is collected digitally by us. So, in this lecture you will learn about application of data analysis techniques. It is more of the automated analysis, and we have an option of manual analysis also as per the traditional conventions of the research, but mostly it is automated analysis, and the idea is to make sense of the big data which is harvested from the websites and databases. The lecture largely pertains to the text analysis of the corpus data. So, corpus data we would discuss in a while. So, it is assumed that the data harvested conforms to the format and parameters of the research objectives, and one thing we should keep in mind that it would be an injustice to discount the relevance of the traditional research method even on the electronically collected digital data. So, every data has got the value here, and every method is also equally important. So, there are two scenarios here. First scenario, the technology collects the data and the further analysis is done by the researcher manually as per the established conventions of the research. So, data is collected only with the technology and rest of the things go as per the traditions. In the second scenario, the huge data collection in the text form is subjected to the computational analysis, like the corpus linguistics method and textual analysis. So, we do not have any scope of the manual analysis here, everything is automated, and two types of data collection happens here. One is the quantitative data, in the numerical form we collect the data, and second is the qualitative, this is in the text form. So, let us first discuss the quantitative data. Now, this data can be of nominal type. As you know that nominal means naming the variable, like gender is the variable, and one is code for male, 2 for female, and ordinal, that is in order. Happiness level after meditation is 1 very bad, 2 bad, 3 good, 4 very good, 5 excellent, and interval, that is age 10 to 5, 15 to 20. So, this is the interval data between two figures. So, these were the types of data. It simply means that the output can be quantified in numbers. Usually data feeding in Excel or SPSS for analysis has to follow a certain method, which sometimes is a challenge to the researchers, and there is a proper format, proper convention to enter the data, only then you can expect the desired output. But the harvested data sets from open databases are mostly good and descriptive statistics, which are frequency, means, median, mode, etc., standard deviation, can be generated in MS Excel itself. So, no need to care for the standard things, and the data is already standardized, ready for the analysis. For this, open Excel, click file, go to the options, then click add-ons. You can see in the image alongside, and you can activate the data analysis function in the Excel first. Then Excel add-ins and add analysis tool pack and click OK. So, in the data tab of the menu, a new option appears, which is the data analysis option on the right side. Now, feed the numerical data in column and click the data analysis on the right side. A box would appear and select the descriptive statistics option. Now, define the input range in the Excel by selecting the data, select the output range, and after doing this click on the summary statistics and press OK. In the new column, you would get a descriptive statistics information. Now let us focus on digital data in qualitative form, because digital data is largely in the text format, which is a new method. We are going to discuss that. Data is analyzed through corpus linguistics method. This is a totally new concept as far as communication research is concerned. A corpus is defined as a body of texts, utterances or other specimens considered more or less representative of a language and usually rendered in a machine readable format. This definition was given by Pang and Cambria and Hussain in 2017. Basically speaking, corpus is the big collection of the words, textual data which is in the text format. So, text can also be analyzed statistically in corpus method, and CASS is an innovative DMRMs like digital media research methods. CAS means corpus approaches to the social sciences. So, it is based on corpus methods. Huge data files in the dot text format can be opened in a new free corpus analysis software, that is AntConc, ANTCONC. This can be freely downloaded from the website by entering in the Google, and the data in HTML or PPT or doc format can be converted into .txt format and saved as UTF-8 encoding in Notepad for making it corpus analysis compatible. So, it's very easy. It convert any type of document in the text format by applying UTF-8 format, and it's a corpus ready file. Earlier we were taught to apply data analysis techniques only on nominal and numerical data. The text obtained through open-ended questions was expected to be explained in a qualitative manner of essay writing. There was no way we could analyze this data and it has to be described as such, but with this digital media research methods, the corpus method challenge this notion, and statistics is applied on the text too. Now, it is very interesting to know, and it is really the new form of inquiry for the researchers, especially communication researchers. So, before applying textual analysis, it is very important to know the nature of the data. In conventional research, it is we apply this beforehand to know the nature of the data. Likewise, in digital media research methods, the basic characteristics of the text need to be obtained before applying the advanced statistics on the text. So, I am sharing one of the very good website, text analysis tool online at textanalyzer.net. It can analyze the basic traits of the text. For example, total word count, we name it as token in the corpus terms, unique words, that is types, the lexicon density, I mean the textual diversity, and sentence count, average sentence length, and readability factor, which is easy, medium or hard on the readability scale. So, this can be find out by using this site. It can analyze text in a website, uploaded document, and the text can be entered on its own website, and when we press analyze, it will serve the analysis portion. The readability of the text is analyzed as Gunning Fog Index. Most of the times we are clueless about the readability of the text, so we can go to the websites mentioned here, and 6 score stands for easy and 20 stands for very hard. Lexical density or complexity factor analyzes the text richness, that is, more repeated words, less the richness of the language. So, lexical density is very important part of the research, and we can download the software as I told you. AntConc software from this website, and it will give us the more advanced option of lexical density and etc. So, first is the word list. The most basic corpus analysis of text involves generation of the word list, that is total number of words present in the text. We call the total number of words as tokens, and the number of unique words, they are known as types. So, if we see the type to taken ratio, then it gives a score of lexical density. For example, richness of the language in the text is measured. I have taken a figure here. If the text has a total of 1,20,456 words and 15675 are the unique words, then type to token ratio or 0.13. If converted to percent, it is 13%. So, this shows a low lexical density. So, a low score indicates non-informative texts and vice versa. Now, we reverse this. A token to type ratio indicates the vocabulary density score, which in our case is 8. It means that it indicates the diversity in text by indicating that at every 8th word in the text a new word appears. However, the interpretation of textual score can be highly subjective at times, but overall this gives a general behavior of the text and richness of the language, which is not possible through the human effort. The words can be clicked to see the context in which they are used in the text. So, I am talking about the AntConc, and I am going to explain the next function in AntConc, that is collocations. So, Sinclair in 1991 defines collocations as the tendency for words to occur together and identifiable by frequency of occurrence. For example, media habits, triple talaq, social media, etc. These words, they have the habit of occurring together. So, the corpus software calculates the collocates of node word, that is central word as defined by you. In your case, it is the word is media as shows in the image. The figure shows that tendency of co-occurrence of the word social with the media is statistically significant with a mutual information ratio score of 9.7, which is fairly high. This is mutual information ratio score. It's a statistical test, and any score above 3 is significant. The negative score indicates that two words shun each other, means two words they repel each other if the score is in the negative. So, collocation is calculated for the node word within a span of 5 words to the right and 5 words to the left, which is an international standard of corpus method. Collocates attribute meaning to the words, like the value of the word media is denoted by the social word. This word association forms the meanings in the reader's mind, and nature of one word affects the other word. So, this way the reality is constructed in the human mind. A random view of your own association of words at mental level may tell you the significance of the meanings that you attribute to the objects in this world. Now, we will discuss the concordance. Concordance approach allows the meaning derivation from the contexts. As you can see in the image that there is a central word and context of the words is there left and right. So, concordance is defined as the display of given word together with a given amount of preceding and following context. It is thus contextualizing the text. The image shows the context of two collocates, that is social and media in the corpus texts. Hence, a whole range of discussion around two compatible words can be found and explained. Now, another function is word clusters. These are the cluster of words, and corpus approach also enables the generation of word clusters of one or more words inside the body of texts. The clusters present in the texts, they lay stress on the word sense of the text. You can find the words clusters in a set and you can immediately form some meaning attribution in the text. The word clusters are different from collocates in the sense that clusters are the fixed words appearing together, whereas the collocates may or may not be fixed, that is span of 5 words on the either side, and their probability is statistically calculated. So, now words cluster are different from the collocates. As you can see in the image, the word cluster media and, these are the two words having a frequency of 10 as shown in the image can be clicked and the context can be read. So, media and next word is which you can read the context yourself very carefully and interpret it according to your own research objective. So, concordance appears and a researcher has to enter a word in the software to find the clusters. You will enter the word in the software and it will find the clusters related to that. So, next function we are discussing is n-gram. It is similar to the word clusters, but the only difference is that n-grams are totally software identifiable group of words, and we cannot specify our own word. The software will find that for us and it will present the n-grams. So, you just press the n-gram command and it will find out the word clusters which are fixed from the software side. So, the context can be subjected to the different analysis convention. You go to the image and see the context in which the n-gram means the word clusters are used, and they are explained above, such as concordance, and this is a very good command. Next command is the keyword. This is the method of keywords comparison between two set of texts. Now, we have two set of corpora and we want to compare one text with the another one. So, corpus analysis in this function allows us to statistically compare the unusually high frequency of certain words in one text and vice versa. So, the image shows the comparison of two corpora. The text on political news was compared to the texts on crime news. We are comparing the two corpora here, two corpus files. So, it shows that the words like Modi, India, BJP, Minister, Bihar, Pakistan, Kashmir and meeting, these are all relevant words, and they are statistically more frequent in the political corpus than the crime corpus. And the keenness value, as you can see, tells you whether they are unusually higher statistically or not. And when the crime corpus is compared to the political corpus, the words like murder, Indrani, Sheena, accused, case, etc. were found statistically more frequent in crime corpus than political corpus. So, two types of corpus can also be compared for the textual behavior. This gives us additional additional information about the corpus, and just to share with you that in a recent corpus study of US presidential election speeches of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, it was found that Trump's keywords include going, very, Hillary, I, they, are, it, I am, don't, great, China, really, billion, nobody, Mexico, immigration, disaster, Islamic, nice, mean, fox, me, somebody, people, okay, tremendous, problem, thought, totally, radical, anybody, got, amazing, border, rigged, foreign, money, vast, and literally. So, these were the keywords of the Trump's speeches. Now we come to Hillary. Hillary's keywords include women, families, economy, together, work, American and America, future, rights, create, men, growth, equal, fair, deserve, global, challenges, threats, opportunity, Israeli, help, stronger, students, income, invest, raising, everyone, God, children, abortion, responsibility, and vigorous. So, this was a study by Christine in 2016. So, as you can see the difference in the words of the two speeches. So, corpus can be analyzed using stop list of words also, we call the stop word list. It removes the words like I, you, yourself, my, these are irrelevant words and they unnecessarily confuse the analysis. So, furthermore, it can be analyzed using specific words of your own choice, which includes the negative words and positive words, good words and bad words. I must tell you that all these negative words, positive word list, good word list, bad word list, they are easily available on the internet and you can filter the corpus as per these words. So, a corpus study of tweets on the Jat reservation agitation recently in Haryana revealed that negative words outnumber the positive words by a huge margin as far as this corpus study of Jat reservation is concerned. The limitation of the corpus method is that the language is an internal construct and hence cannot be regarded as the sole evidence in determining something. So, there are many other factors to different nuances of the language which corpus method cannot account for, and representation of the text is also an issue and there are many issues regarding the collection of the corpus and so many of them. So, now let us briefly touch upon some other ways through which we can do our analysis. First is a word cloud. A word cloud is a graphic representation of the text's prominence in case of number, and as you can see in the image, big words appear more prominently in more frequent in numbers, and this can be generated at tag crowd.com and at wordle.com by copying and pasting the text in the box. More frequent words would be highlighted and the vice versa. And next is the sentiment analysis method of digital data analysis. Now, sentiment analysis aims to determine the attitude of a speaker, writer or other subject with respect to some topic. This is the definition by Wikipedia. The sentiment analysis measures overall contextual polarity or emotional reaction to a document, interaction or event. So, what we think about a particular text is basically a sentiment analysis. So, it is done on a collection of text or individual statements. The exponential rise of social media, that is Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, etc., has given rise to the sentiment analysis, because this is the crowdsourced data, and the opinion of the people online matters a lot. So, the criteria to which the text sentiment is subjected to is polarity. Polarity means the sentiment is positive, neutral or negative. Another one is subjectivity, which counts people's opinion, views, discussion, etc., and objectivity. Objectivity is whether it is facts and figures or unbiased information in the text and the statements. So, the sentiment analysis is counted in this way. The most convenient way of analyzing the statements, that is headlines, leaders' quotes, parliament speeches, etc., is to use the Google's spreadsheet and install an extension known as text analysis by clicking add-ons and installing the add-on to the Chrome browser. It will not install on the Chrome browser, but the Google spreadsheet. Now, the statements to be analyzed for sentiment are pasted in the spreadsheet as individual sentences, selected and analyzed by the app. As you can see in the image, that statements, they have been analyzed as per the score, as per the objectivity and subjectivity, and there is a confidence level also assigned to these statements. So, in the table you can see the harvested headlines on demonetization from Indian newspapers by applying the Google command demonetization, and the command is mentioned here. The score measures the confidence in the statements assigned value. One value is 100%, then it is a perfect statement and the full confidence is there as far as sentiment is concerned. As it is not possible to scan the deluge of public's reaction on social media and elsewhere, hence the use of natural language processing, that is NLP, has to be applied and overall tonality can be measured. It is a very good method and it cannot be done by the human effort only. We have to make use of the computational analysis. The sentiments change over time, and numerous resources on web conduct a real time analysis of the sentiment of a particular brand, person, topic, etc. So, this is the live digital data analysis. A few of the websites like the mentioned here, sentiment140.com, and the one mentioned like cs2. and csu.edu, you can click this link and they are very helpful and very good sentiment analyzer on Twitter. They will analyze the sentiment of a particular Twitter handle or particular Twitter keyword in the real time. It must be noted that the text analytics is relatively new area in computational aspect, and it should not be resorted to blindly. Hence, the tools may or may not perform as per your expectation of accuracy, but by and large they give you a fair idea of the overall behavior of the text. And as I said, it is a growing field, and more new methods and tools, they are going to come. And in the last conclusion part, I hope that at the end of this lecture, you all are well acquainted with the digital data analysis techniques. I hope this lecture has been helpful in throwing some light on very unique analysis methods like corpus linguistics and sentiment analysis. For more details, you can read the module on this topic, and in this lecture carefully and attempt the questions in the end, and the whole picture will be clear. thanking you.